Welcome everyone to this exciting, fascinating, intriguing discovery about the sad, historic, woeful, painful curse of Superman. As you know, over the years, there has been a legendary curse around the character who has the big red S on his chest. Many of the individuals who play the iconic character has been either severely injured, severely wounded, killed in some tragic, horrible way, or even in some rare events have taken their lives. So let's get ready and learn 15 important facts about the curse of the Superman. Now, everyone will be able to read the text, but I'm really reading the information for those who are blind. So again, all the information will be displayed, but I'm reading it for our disabled brothers and sisters, friends and relatives, associates and co-workers who are blind. So let's start. Interesting curses about Superman, the facts. Number one, not the comic book character, but rather the TV as well as the motion pictures incarnations of the superhero are considered to be cursed. Of course, the comic book character can't be cursed because he's not even real. He's just a make-believe figure who does not exist in our 3D world. The comic book Superman, he only occurs in 2 dimensions, width and length. So he cannot be cursed. He cannot be wounded. The comic book Superman, for all intents and purposes, is an immortal character. He's about 80 years old, and he still looks like he's 30. Now, I do know his Kryptonian cells keeps him from aging real fast, but you get my point. He's not real. He's make-believe. He's a drawing on a piece of paper. So, something that's not real cannot be cursed. Only real, live people, or even animals, can be cursed. So, that's fact number 1. Fact number 2. Many people who have been associated with the motion picture incarnations of the Red Cape superhero have met with unlucky fate, and that is what has sparked the curse story. So the curse story has been sparked about those figures who have met untimely release from this life. For instance, we have George Reeves in this picture, and we have Christopher Reeve. There's one irony right there. Both of those guys are named Reeves. I just now discovered that when I made this little episode. Christopher Reeve and George Reeves. What's the connection between them? What's the connection? But they both have suffered tragedy in life. One killed himself, and the other was severely wounded by his animal that got spooked and led from some tragic accident, which we will learn about, happened to Christopher Reeves. So that's number 2. Number 3, it was George Reeves who played the role of Superman in the first television debut of The Adventures of Superman, coined from the comic book title. Reeves climbed up the success ladder pretty quickly and became the face of Superman, even to this day. Unfortunately, he was not paid well, and he had to struggle financially. I'm sure most actors back in his time wasn't paid well. Now, as he got older, he didn't look too much like Superman to me. But when he was young, he did look a lot like Superman. Especially, as you will see, his Clark Kent character. I love the way how his Clark Kent character looks. Moving on. Number 4. In 1959, on June 16th, there was a house party at Reeves' home when he was too annoyed by the surrounding chaos and went upstairs. Okay, I thought he was struggling financially. He's having a house party. He wasn't struggling that bad. So he took a 9mm pistol and shot himself in the head. Wow. What could have caused that? Now, I'm sure it's not the noise. I'm sure that wasn't the first time he had a party at his house. So was there some foul play that happened in this event? I'm sure this was not the first party he had. This was not the first headache he had. Whether it was a suicide, okay, or an accident, or a homicide, or a murder is still a subject of argument. See, look at this black and white picture. He looks like the classic Clark Kent to me. He looked absolutely wonderful as Clark Kent. So even when he was younger, he did look like a good Superman. But like I said, for me, I love his Clark Kent portrayal. Number 5. Reeves' death led to a silent end for the TV series, but Superman continued to live in the form of a television cartoon through the 60s and 70s. In 1978, Christopher Reeve took up the role of Superman and became an overnight star because of the movie Superman, the movie. And Christopher Reeve, if you ever saw his film, I think he's the iconic actor who plays Superman because he does look like Superman. He was 6'4", and I heard at first he was a beanpole, but he had to bulk up. He had to bulk up to play the iconic character. When he bulked up, he did look like a decent, iconic Superman. And many comic books to this very day, because I collect comic books, good people, many comic books to this day sometimes draw Superman looking like Christopher Reeve. Moving on. Number 6. It really did not end well for Christopher Reeve as well. In 1995, on May the 17th, Reeve was riding his horse. It was a more of a competitive riding than a habitual call, and that is when he fell off his horse. So okay, at first I blamed the horse. So it was not the horse's fault. I guess he was clumsy and he fell off the horse. When he fell off his horse, he was badly hurt and paralyzed. So I guess he hit his head on something, because that's the only way you typically become paralyzed, when you injure your head. But he fell off the horse. The horse wasn't spooked and threw him off, according to this little article right here. Number 7. Now I want to say one more good thing. At least when Christopher Reeve, he did, I would not wish that accident on anyone. But at least when he played Superman, he played it in 1978. It was almost 20 years later before something happened to him. So at least he did live a long, almost 20 years as a normal person without that accident. So he did get to soak up all the glory of being Superman. Because, in fact, I think he played 4 Superman pictures. So he was around for a good while. The paralyzed life would not stick with Christopher Reeve for long. And in 2004, he died of a heart attack, which was probably caused by his ailment. The problem was the post-accident. See, it came from an accident. He was pretty prone to infections and had to live on antibiotics. Wow. So not only was this poor man paralyzed from the neck down, he was prone to sickness and required constant medical care. In 2004, one of the antibiotic drugs played a dirty trick and led to a heart attack that killed the alleged Man of Steel. So he really did not die of natural causes. He died from medical complications that caused his body to backfire on itself. Number 8. Then there was Marlon Brando, another iconic Hollywood actor. Then there was Marlon Brando, who played Superman's father in Superman, the movie. He too had to suffer his fair share of bad luck. His private life was such a disaster. Wait a minute. I can't blame this on the luck of Superman. His life was probably a disaster up before he even played Superman's father. Christian, his son, shot the boyfriend of Brando's half-daughter, Senine, in 1990 and was in prison for 10 years. Wow. So his half-daughter, was killed in 1990. Sorry that happened to that poor man. Number 9. As if that wasn't enough, Brando's half-daughter, Senine, hanged herself 5 years after her boyfriend was shot dead by Christian. So, in a short span of time, he lost 2 good people in his life. His half-daughter, Senine, hung herself after her boyfriend passed away. For this woman to be his half-daughter, she looks a lot like Marlon Brando to me. Now, to you, she may look different. She got that square-shaped head like him. Her lips are look like his lips, and her eyes look something like him. But it's his half-daughter. All right, so let's move right on. Number 10. This was obviously too much for Brando to deal with. He did not continue to survive through his pathetic life, but he became a reclusive and gained weight and eventually died in 2004. Like Christopher Reeve. He died in 2004. Brando died in 2004. Could it have been the curse of Superman? Just 4 months before the death of Christopher Reeve. Wow. And I'm sure he didn't have no heartache. He didn't have no super feelings for Christopher Reeve. In Marlon Brando's mind, Reeves was just probably another actor playing a role. But his daughter, his half-daughter, is what led to his demise. He must have really have loved that girl. He must have really have loved his half-daughter. They look close in this picture right here. All right. Number 12. And in the 1990s, Kidder met with a car accident and went out of work for several years because of temporary paralysis. Now, if you don't know about this young lady right here, she played Lois Lane. So if you ever get the chance, my good people, if you never saw that iconic movie that put superhero films on the map, I think Superman 1978 put superheroes on the map. And at that time in 1979, the special effects was legendary. Even to this very day, that 1978 Superman movie still looks worthy of its special effects. It still looks incredible. I may watch it tonight since I'm talking about this. Number 13. Her post-accident off-work period was when she suffered from depression and mood swings. Maniac episodes became quite frequent, and she eventually went into a 4-day freak episode while she was in California in 1996. More tragedy, more heartache, and more pain. At the end of this, when I get to number 15, I'm going to give you my take on Superman and why it may be a curse on those actors who play Superman. I'm going to give you a solid reason why it could be a curse on those actors. Number 14. During that 4-day long freakout, Kidder was convinced that Thomas McGowan, her ex-husband, was trying to kill her, and in her frenzy, she took a razor and chopped off her hair. She surely went over the deep end. Threw off her purse, spent her night sleeping on porches. Yes, porches. Not one porch, not two, but she spent nights sleeping on porches. I'm sure these porches was in the warm state of California. Because if she was in the East, she could not survive on no porch in December, January, and February. She would have frozen to death in the East. A homeless man almost raped her after beating her up. Glendale backyard police luckily found her on time and saved her and admitted her to UCLA Medical Center. Yes, this was in California because UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles. So all this happening, the sunny state of California. Last but not least, number 15. And how can we forget Lee Quigley? He featured in 1978 film as the baby Superman. He did not survive long, and at the age of 4, he died in 1991 because of solvent abuse. Wow. He died at the age of 4, again a part of that curse. Now here's my take on the Superman curse, my good people. As you know about Superman, if you read comic books, he absorbed solar energy. He's a battery of solar radiation. Superman, in my mind, should not look the way he looked because he absorbed solar energy. Don't get offended, my good people. Please don't get offended. Think with pure logic. And I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to spell it out. I'm not going to say who these people are. What people on this planet skin absorb solar energy? What people on this planet skin comfortably can handle solar UV energy? Think logically. What people on this planet whose skin is not severely disturbed and wounded by the sun? Think, don't get upset. What people on this planet have skin that soaks up and love, I'm going to say it again, love, I'm going to say it the third time, their skin love sunlight. Their skin welcomes sunlight. Their skin greets the sun. What group of people have an affinity for solar energy on this planet? Superman, if his skin absorbs solar energy, should he really be looking the way how he looked in the comic books? Or should he look different? Should Superman really look the way he look in motion pictures? Or should he look different? If there's a God, if there's a higher deity, he may have put a hex on the actors who played in those Superman movies, even though they may have been innocent. Because he did say in the religious text, the Bible, he said he punished the sins of the guilty to the 4th and 5th generation. So he does punish people. So you see, how should Superman really look? Could that have been a cause for the curse? Because Hollywood refused to show Superman how he really should look. And you know, a lot of people in the world, even scientists know, what skin tone relishes sunlight. So that's my take on why there could be a curse on a Superman movie. Superman does not really look the way he really should look. He should look different than the way Hollywood portray him. So, that's my take. You may have your take. If you like the content of this discussion, please give me a thumbs up. If you would like to subscribe for future content, please click on the subscribe button. And if you would like to be notified immediately about new content placed on this YouTube channel, please click on that bell symbol. You all have a wonderful day. For those who love to read comic books, Keep reading your comic books. For those who love superhero films, keep watching those superheroes. But remember, they not real. They fictitious. So don't take them like they all that. Because I've been reading comic books for nearly 40 years. So I can say, don't take them seriously. Take care of you all. Have a wonderful day. Bye.